This
Beautiful.
conference will now be recorded.
All right, guys. So today is Wednesday, May 6th, and as always, everything that we're going to be talking about today, it's for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. Now, I hope no one's too hung over from Cinco de Mayo yesterday, because it's Wednesday, and today's going to take a lot of focus because we know Wednesdays have not typically been our best days. Now, first thing I'm going to be looking at is MVIS. So this one coming in before, I want to show the prints that came in. We're talking about gigantic buying around this $1.50 level, and not just at it, but underneath to show us that we can break it at the actual level. And then look at them above the prints. Okay, so these 151 prints that we see coming into there. Now, are people going to sell when you have a cheap stock like this, make a move up there? Absolutely. So I'm not worried about the $1.50 sell prints that we saw because the amount of buying coming in is absolutely phenomenal. On top of the fact that we know that there's buying higher from it from previous days. So there's definitely a lot more going on. There's a lot more room for this thing to really start to run up above. Now we need to break this print line we have here because you have 1 million shares in such a cheap stock in a bigger print. It's not something that you really see too often. So this is going to be a hard level to break. So we need to make sure that we continuously see that buying coming in, and we're able to really be able to break past there. I was having schedule. I can't say that on the recording. SDC. Now, I've been watching SDCs for quite some time now because I knew this thing had to break out. And obviously, it happened during the pre-market when I have to do a meeting in 2 seconds. But the one thing I'm very interested in is you can see that the new buying coming in. Look at this position right here. Okay, because once we started jumping up, a big bar means nothing if it doesn't have substance. And when you look at the substance within this is not a small amount of buying coming in. And you can see it's already taking off, put up towards that 750. And then now you can see right here, 750 being a resistance level. We have that orb there from yesterday. Just more new buying and short-term buying coming in underneath that level. So it isn't going to be, I am going to expect it to pull back a little bit just because, but it has the buying to crush the 8 level from what I've been watching over the past, few weeks. So definitely like this one. These both, between MVIS and SDC, two of my favorites, two of my favorite moves that I've seen coming into this morning. And the buying just is absolutely, it's just absolutely obvious. It's not, there's no question whatsoever what it has. Yeah, I'm going to get, so NC, it's an interesting one. But also, guys, now CCL looks like it wants to join the party. Remember, we had yesterday so much selling in these stocks. Today, we have to expect pull-ups. I mean, and I'm not talking about little pull-ups. I'm talking about some pretty big, especially talking about NCLS, which we'll get to as soon as we finish our list. One thing I am interested to, though, is in BYND. So BYND, we had earnings yesterday, and you can see it, it jumped up. Beautiful move over that 100 level. And right now, see, that's the problem is that right now its personality isn't great, but it's a Wednesday, and Wednesdays have been typically our worst pre-market of the week. So it's a little bit more of up in the air of whether this is what the personality is going to look like, or it's going to get better and look like a personality of a stock that actually did have earnings, because you can see it's just very sporadic. It hasn't really been trading that much. I mean, the overall 734,000 shares, but the trading volume itself, you can see is just not really where you would like to see it, especially after jumping that much off of an earnings. And you can see print wise, we don't have any show of hand yet. I am going to keep this on my list though, because when it gives a show of hand, it 100%. I mean, it almost always follows its rules, and it's just beautiful range, a big range coming into it. So I do really like that. B1 has huge buying above from previous days. Above as in what number? Like 114, 114, 115. Beautiful. So that's even the bigger addition to be able to add into this is that it already has those prints up above. Now, keep in mind, jumping up this much, especially after earnings, a lot of people are in their brokers right now, selling and getting out of this. So I wouldn't be shocked to see. Now, I don't have any information that tells me that yet because there's just no real bigger prints, and even the smaller prints, I haven't seen anything that's definitive yet. And that's what I was talking about within its trading volume. But it's definitely going to give us some nice trades coming in. I like the way that BYND trade, so definitely going to make our list. And then I'm going to put Oxy on our list because of the same reason. Now, its earnings were disgusting, absolutely, well, I mean, when I say disgusting, I don't know. I don't care what their earnings are, but the way that it moved after its earnings were absolutely disgusting. And this morning, it's not really doing anything, but I'm going to take into account again that the fact that Wednesday's pre-markets usually are kind of deceiving, especially on a lot of stocks. So because it has that extra variable in it to tell us that it should move to more than $1.76 today, it should have better volume, which right now is kind of looking a little bit iffy. But I do like these prints. I know Doug have said it before, but even these ones coming up, you can see this is a lot of off-level prints that are coming into this thing, and they're very strong, especially for something that's not really doing any type of trading. So I'm going to put Oxy on our list because I am going to be paying very close attention to it, especially when the market opens, to kind of get an idea of where we're looking for, just because the story that we have in it is extremely intricate. Now, NCLH has just been, I don't know what the hell's going on with this thing. I don't know if their boats are on fire. Now it looks like their boats are about to launch off with a full crew. It's just been everywhere. But this is one of those stocks I have to assume because of just the massive, massive selling that we saw coming into this day. This huge bar right here had pretty much been all selling, all refreshing selling coming in. And we know what happens with huge bars. Now we're starting to see these, what look like huge buying, not even close compared to the selling, but we're starting to see what looks like riders. So I'm going to be interested in watching this one. I'm going to have to put it on the side list because right now it's trading like absolute garbage. But I'm going to put it on our side list, and I'm going to be looking for this thing to really make a run towards that upside based off of how much it needs to pull back from the selling and how many riders are coming in on that S side. But it's going to have to get out of this quantity type consolidated trading. Otherwise, I'm not going to do anything with it. Now, XLF is another one. I thought it was to be completely honest, I thought it was a ETF when I first, oops, not XLF, XRF. XLF is a ETF. So XRF, when I first looked at it, because China Rapid Finance, I just assumed it was like one of the some type of ETN ETF type deal, but it's not. So looking at it, I really loved this position here at 220. I like that a lot because I know people are going to be coming in to sell. I mean, it's up a huge, huge amount. You can see 126% today, but I like the amount of buying that we're still seeing into it. Now, normally, if we could get a little bit more towards those highs, this would almost actually be a regular stock and not even a side list. But I'm going to have to put it on the side list just because, again, we talked about this variably yesterday. When we have a beautiful, smooth move that comes up in the pre-market, a lot of times we end up seeing that sell-off come in and just kind of kill it. So it has to be a side list. But like I said, I love that position that I did see come in at that 220 on the ass side of things. POAI. Oops, okay, another one where I really do like this. And the thing about it is you can see what it went up on is great pre-market volume, absolutely phenomenal pre-market volume. And it really on average trades 490,000 shares. It's already at 2.1 million. So that's showing us that we have an easy ability based off volume alone to get up to that 240 level. So really all I'm looking for is positions like this to come in towards the lows. 195, obviously 2, we want to see a little bit. Unfortunately, at 2, I don't want to see a ton because if that happens, then it's going to kind of delay it a little bit. But based off of everything, this really is almost, this again, isn't really a side list stock. The only reason I'm a little weary about it is because it fell under 2. I really wish that wouldn't have happened. But if you look, 180 is a very strong support, concrete level support that we see coming there. And it's starting to make its way up. So as long as we keep seeing buying like this is going to be a real nice stock to give us an easy 40 cents back towards that upside. And then MDGS, which is now is going to be on like my bottom side list. But it still has the possibilities. It's still, we know that there's buying that's up above. It really does have a lot of potential to get back towards this double top up here. The volume was not terrible for how early it was. You're talking about like 60,000 shares. That's a lot for how early we were coming into it. So this is another one where I need to see something down here. And that's why it's on the side list, because like 420, that's decent, but it's just too many prints that just don't give us any type of real definitive idea of where the money flow is coming into this thing. If they're still buying, if they're still selling, I just don't really have it. It just doesn't have it yet. So I'm going to be putting this on the bottom of my side list just because of that reason, but I really do like the stock itself. And I do like the setup too. If you look over here on the 15, just to get your minute chart consolidated, it really is in a staircase right now. So jumping back up wouldn't be crazy at all. And it's really set up for that. Just needs the prints, just needs better prints coming into it to really give us that definitive move. All right, guys, anything else out there that I missed? Anything else out there? All right, so that looks like it. Once again, congratulations to Dan on Trader of the Month. Well deserved. And like I said, I mean, it was a landslide. I mean, almost every single person had that vote. So that says a lot to what Dan has been doing over the past month. Keep it up. And obviously, don't take your foot off the pedal. Everyone else, there is a new chance for you to become Trader of the Month for this. So let's make sure that we're following everything that we've seen in the past. Let's make sure that we're following what we learned Traders Exchange from yesterday. Let's make sure we're applying it to our morning. Let's figure out what's going to affect our trading the most today, and let's focus on it. All right, guys, I will talk to everyone in the chat, and happy trading.